All right, guys, it's time. It is time. We are in Greenville, South Carolina today. It is the Southeast Game Exchange. We're here early because we got media passes and we get to get in early, which is awesome. We got a lot of things we're looking for today. We got a lot of things we're here to see. You excited? Woo! So let's go. Let's see what we can find. So we're here for day 2 of Game Exchange. It's a lot earlier today than it was yesterday. Do you guys remember that short I posted back in like Thanksgiving last year? A lot of strategy guides. I found somebody who might be willing to take them, so I'm gonna go see if he's actually open for it. And if so, awesome, I finally got to move them. Let's go see what we can do here at day 2 of Siege. You excited? Woo! Woo Girl's ready. Let's go. What's up, guys? So what you just saw was all the footage that I remembered to get while we were at the Southeast Game Exchange this year. This show is one of my favorites to go to every year. And if you are ever planning to come to the Greenville, South Carolina area in mid to late July, I would encourage you to make this one of the things you do while you're here. We go to a lot of these conventions, and Southeast Game Exchange is always one of my favorite ones to go to. We were lucky enough to be able to attend as media this year. So to Austin and to everyone who helps make sure that Southeast Game Exchange happens every year, I want to thank you so much for letting us attend. It means the most to actually be a part of one of my favorite conventions that we attend every year. But I know why you stuck around this long. You stuck around to see the hall and the hall we have. I was able to get almost everything that was in my pre-siege video. I was not able to get the consoles, although, hold on. I wasn't able to get the consoles that I mentioned in that previous video, but I actually have since gotten a Famicom disk system, and it was complete in box, but that's a video for another day. Today we're talking about Game Exchange pickups, and we're gonna start with some N64 adjacent stuff. First thing I picked up was this, and no, it's not a case for Super Mario 64. It's also not Super Mario 64 that I picked up. I picked up the manual for Super Mario 64. I actually didn't have this, and now it's nice to have the instruction manual to one of my favorite games. But not only did I get the one for Mario 64, I also got the one for Ocarina of Time. Again, super cool to have the instruction manual to a game that's so important to my childhood. The next thing I picked up was actually a boxed Famicom game. It was a boxed version of the original run of Tetris. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a big Tetris nut, and so this is just a nice little piece of history to have in my collection. It is shrink wrapped. I know that they didn't originally come shrink wrapped, so this shrink wrap was added after the fact, but I'm really tempted just to leave it sealed up because it protects the box really well, and I just really like this idea of a boxed copy. I might look for me a loose copy of it so I can keep this one sealed up, because that'd be pretty cool to have, just a nice, clean, sealed up Tetris. The next things I picked up, I went on a little bit of a Xeno craze. I did mention these in the pre-siege video. I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the DLC release of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and not on the list, I picked up the first Xenosaga game. I picked up the second one of these not too long ago at a random stop at 2nd and Charles, and I knew I'd get the first one eventually, so now I can play through at least 1 and 2. Getting my hands on 3 is going to be a little difficult because that thing is pricey, but we'll get there eventually. I do want to play the first one, see if I even like the series. The next thing I picked up was another Switch game. I also mentioned this in the pre-siege video. I picked up Valiant Hearts and Child of Light. I really wanted to get a physical copy of Child of Light because I've really been itching to replay it recently. I knew there was a physical release on the Switch and there was one on the Vita, and I'm glad I found the Switch one because the Switch one is the one that I would prefer to actually have. So getting my hands on that is really good. And lastly are the N64 games I picked up from my collection. I have 5 of them. I have 2 not heavies, 2 pretty heavies, and 1 really heavy. So we're gonna go in that order and I'll talk about it for a little bit. The first thing I picked up was Shadow Man, and I also picked up International Track and Field 2000. This one's not in the best shape on the back, but it's fine. It's just the back. I can throw one of the backs of one of my Madden games on here and be plenty good. The next thing I picked up was Snowboard Kids 2. I love the first Snowboard Kids. I've never actually played the second one other than loading it up in an emulator one time. So to have the second one in hand is super nice, and I'm looking forward to actually getting to sit down with it and actually play it. And the other sort of heavy one that I picked up was NFL Blitz Special Edition. This one is a little pricier. I've seen this one a few times at like some stores, like when we went to Florida, I saw it, but it was always more than I was wanting to spend. But one of the great things about conventions in general, but Gaming Exchange specifically, is if you're really willing to buy stuff, a lot of people are willing to make a deal with you, and this guy was. Super happy to have this in the collection, and that was the last NFL Blitz game that I needed for my complete set. One more little milestone towards a complete N64 library. And the last game that I picked up for the N64, the one that actually was a pretty heavy one, was Starshot Space Circus Fever. I don't know anything about this game. What little bit of snippets I've looked up about it, it looks like a 3D platformer, probably in the similar-ish vein to like Gex and Glover. So looking forward to give this a shot. But what's cool about this is not only did I get this copy of it and it's insanely clean, but it also came with its manual. I've never wanted to go heavily into manual collecting for my N64 games. That's probably going to change once I get the full set, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But if I find a good deal on a combo of game and manual, I'm going to pick up the manual too, because it's cool just to have, especially since the N64 was still in that era of some games might not have a tutorial and they've expected you to read the manual before you pop in the game. So to have the physical manual is always nice. I'm sitting here in my editing chair working on the video, and I just realized I never talked about one of the things that I picked up. up. I had it in the other room because I was testing it out, and I just forgot to bring it back in here and put it in the stack of the games for when I made the video. One of the other things that I picked up at Siege was actually the FDS version of Metroid. I'm a big fan of the Metroid game, so to have the actual original release of it is really cool. One other quick thing to note was something that April actually picked up. So she's loved Astro Bot ever since it came out. And one of the things that she missed getting her hands on whenever it was out was the Astro Bot DualSense. Well, when we were at Siege, she found it and she wanted it and had to have it. But yeah, that was Southeast Game Exchange. Again, Austin and crew, I want to thank you guys for letting us attend. You put on a great show every year, and I'm looking forward to coming back next year. But that was my experience. What about you guys? Did any of y'all in the comments go to the show? What'd you think of it? What'd you pick up? Leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. But I think that's going to be it for me for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you like what I do here, then hit subscribe because that does help me out a lot. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, y'all.